Here we go. So today, guys, I'm going to talk to you about how to best prepare for Season 5. And I think I might be a good person to give this advice because over the last 2 seasons, we have basically got every reward card apart from one in each season. So this season, we didn't get Terry Cummings, really because I just couldn't be bothered to get him. Like, he just has no value. And the previous season, we didn't get Connie Hawkins from the Ascension board, but that really wasn't within our control. But basically, every other reward card that's dropped over the last 2 seasons, you know, you can see here, Kawhi, McHale, Baron Davis, Wade, Westbrook, Bill Walton, Jameson, you know, Dishinger, like Marin, basically every reward card that you would need, we have. And, you know, it takes a bit of planning to kind of get there. But you might not want to do all of this, right? There may be specific things that you want to focus on. And I'm basically going to let you know how to kind of prepare for Season 5. I'm not going to tell you how to approach like Season 5. I'm going to tell you what to do before we get there. Because I'll drop a video once Season 5 drops, which explains all of that. And I'm going to give you my opinion actually on what I think is worth your time. If you've got limited time, I'm going to let you know what I think is actually worth doing next season. As always, guys, please like and subscribe. We are absolutely rolling, as always, on this channel. We've got, I'm going to announce the guest as well for this weekend's podcast. It's the worst kept secret ever, right? Josh basically told you exactly who this person was on the last podcast. But we've got JD crossover on the podcast this weekend. It's going to drop on Sunday, 2 o'clock UK time, which I think is 9 a.m. like Eastern. Super excited to get JD on. I mean, he's had an incredible year so far. You know, he's had some incredible growth. He was the first person to get Wade. I cannot wait to speak to him, to be honest. It's going to be awesome. So don't miss that when it drops. Outside of that, guys, like I said, please like and subscribe. We are rolling. I want to get to 1,000 subs as quickly as we can. We've got about sort of 500 subs over the last couple of months. So hopefully we can get there quicker. I think we're sitting at around 650 now. So if you drop a sub now, you'll help us get there a little bit quicker. And as I've promised, I'm going to give away 450k VC when we get there. But let's get into today's video. So how should you prepare? So I'm going to start with your cards, right? So if you look at my team right now, I basically cleared house over the last couple of days. I got rid of, I had a lot of players with some value. I basically just got rid of a lot of them. Obviously, we've picked up more and more free cards. I did pick up Hakeem because his price dropped a little bit with the super pack. So I thought now might be a good time to pick him up. But clear house. All your cards right now, if they're from this season, will have more value today than they do, you know, in 2 days, because people are still picking up those cards for XP. As soon as the XP goes away, I know there's a crazy amount of people that are still late on Kawhi that are probably going to get him today or tomorrow. So if you're just sitting on a random card that you think is worthless, maybe it's only going for like 10k, sell him now for 10k because he's going to be worth about 2k in 2 days. So just get your MT back from this season while, you know, those players still have a level of value. Squad-wise, that's what I would do. Now, in terms of what squad you want to go into next season with, as you can see, I've got a really strong squad. I mean, there's only a couple of buyable players here. So we've got Lonzo, T-Mac, and Hakeem. Is that it? Yeah, my entire bench is free as well. So we've got 3 buyable players. If there's reward cards that you haven't got yet, I've done a video on this already. This Jack Marin, you know, dishing it, obviously, you know, it's complete potluck whether you get him or not. But, you know, if you've got nothing else to do, maybe try and get him today. But try and grab as many of these reward cards as you can going into next season. I absolutely love this Anton Jameson. Pick him up as well, you know, if you haven't finished Domination, which you can do that next season as well. But it might be good. So the reason to have a lineup going into next season, if you're not planning on getting unlimited done fairly quickly, you don't need an amazing lineup. That's the key. So what I would do is I'll just make sure your squad is strong enough to compete. Like, if you're going to go into unlimited, it needs to be strong enough to compete. Outside of that, you don't really need to hold any players at all. Now, the next thing is to decide what game modes you actually want to focus on. So, like, I'm a completionist, so I want to get everything done. I don't know if that's going to be the case next season. That's something I still need to figure out because time is limited. And if you saw my video earlier this week, you know the situation that I'm in. I might not be able to get everything done. Now, with Unlimited, like, for me, it's my favorite game mode to play. It can also be my least favorite game mode to play when Algo and all this stuff's, you know, going crazy. It could be. I literally just played a game, by the way, where I won by like 10 points. But, I mean, I got out-rebounded by 23 rebounds. Like, I mean, it was just stupid. Either way, I won the game. It's fine. That's what matters. So, Unlimited, I mean, it depends where you're at with it. If it's a game mode you enjoy, you know, get a squad together and go and get it. What I would say is if you'd asked me this at the end of last season, I would have told you that Unlimited isn't as worth it. Now it is more worth it because McHale was a real step up in sort of quality of reward. if you compare him to Iggy last season, who was already outdated by the end of the season, Mikhail is far from that. So I think they're going to step up the unlimited rewards a little bit. Hopefully we won't get like a Patrick Ewing situation or something like that. But, you know, like I said, if you're planning on playing unlimited, just make sure you've got a squad that can do it. You know, if you want to overall glitch, do all of that stuff, fine, do it. Like, I'm not going to judge you ever. It's entirely up to you how you want to approach this game. It's not up to anyone else. So set yourself up for unlimited, but decide whether it is something you want to do, whether it's something you don't want to do, how far you want to get in it. You know, you don't have to get the main reward. There's a lot of rewards along the way. You know, unlimited is something you've got to decide for yourself. I think it's really down to personal preference. I enjoy it, which is why I play it. And as you guys know, Notorious God uses my account for gameplay. So he always racks up wins on this account anyway. I'm sure we'll get the unlimited reward between us without too many problems. I want to talk about limited next because you guys know my opinion on this by now. I'm not going to go into it. There's a lot of debate about Westbrook. Let's forget Westbrook for a second. Let's look at Aaron Gordon. Let's look at Jaylen Brown. Was it Ralph Sampson was the first one? Guys, these rewards are just really underwhelming. And I really don't know. I really enjoyed playing limited. Like, I love playing limited. I love building a squad. That's like one of my favorite things to do. I love when they drop the kind of requirements. And I have a lot of fun just putting that lineup together. The other thing with limited is, if you look here, I've got 157 unopened packs. Like, so many of these packs have come from limited. Like, if I just scroll to the end, you'll see the packs that I got from just last weekend. I've got a throwback pack there, throwback pack there. Got a Yao one, that's from the locker code, I think. Yeah, another throwback pack, a flash pack. So limited definitely has value. There's no two ways about it. It's definitely worth playing. I am probably going to do it, but if you're doing this for the reward, I feel like the reward is going to be underwhelming. Like I said, Westbrook, you know, there's some people that love the card. I can't stand it. That's fair enough. That's what makes this game interesting. But outside of that, Jaylen, Aaron Gordon, Ralph Sampson, those cards just got outdated too quickly. And I feel like we're a week away from some really OP point guards that are going to outdate Westbrook, even if you like him. So I really wouldn't worry about limited in terms of the main reward. I wouldn't be, you know, sweating over the ring or anything like that. It's just not that big a deal. You decide if you want to play it. Like I said, I would play it because the secondary rewards can sometimes be really overpowered. I mean, we've had weeks where we've had Hall of Fame badges and all sorts in there. But again, it's entirely up to you whether this is what you want to approach. The next thing is the season agenda. So what I will do, again, I will drop a video, you know, as soon as Season 5 drops about how I'm going to approach this. I approached this in a really healthy way this season, where I just didn't get the burnout that I got with Wade. You know, it was just a completely different experience. It was really manageable. You know, to be honest, it just wasn't difficult. I really approached it in a smart way, I think, and I'm going to break that down in a video in a couple of days. But again, guys, this is something you really need to decide, because even though I got it done efficiently and I think my approach was quite smart to it and it didn't burn me out, it's still a hell of a grind. It's still a hell of a grind. And we are at a point now where I think it is kind of almost compulsory that you do this, that you feel like you have to do it. Again, you've got to decide what you're doing it for. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, Kawhi is worth it. You know, going back, Wade was worth it. He's still, you know, point guard in my squad. I didn't do Blake or Curry. I do feel like, having not done those XPs, I felt like I enjoyed those seasons a little bit more. I was playing a lot more unlimited and things like that, and I think my development in the game got better by focusing on unlimited over the XP. But, you know, this is just something you've got to decide. If you are going to do it, you've got to decide, you know, how far you want to get with it, how manageable it is. Like, don't burn yourself out. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. I know people that have lost relationships and jobs over trying to do this. It's not worth that. So just be realistic. If it's not going to be fun for you, don't do it. I just don't think it's that important. We're obviously going to get a crazy card. It's obviously going to be OP. It's obviously going to have crazy longevity. It's going to be worth it if you do it. There's no two ways about that. But do you want to do it? That's something I would really think about, because we've got another 7-8 months of this. And if it's not sustainable for you, you've got to decide, I think, you know, whether this is something you need to be doing. What I would say is, like I said, I'm going to drop a video on the XP and how I'm going to approach it next season, because I'm going to approach it the same way I did this season. But you do need MT. This is the one thing I will say. Like, I told you to sell any players that you don't kind of need. Build up MT. If you've got 300,000 MT, if you're sitting around that range, this whole process becomes way easier. Like, way easier. And if you're smart about how you use that MT, you can preserve most of it while getting that reward. You know, it's for sure going to cost you something between 50 and 100k by the end of the season. if you're inefficient, it will cost you 500k. I know people that do that. Obviously, they burn through it quickly, and they're picking up cards when they're at peak value. But again, we're going to get into this in a video later. But the real key with XP, guys, is just decide if it's something you really need to do. If you don't need to do it, if you're not playing, unlimited, if you're not going to use that card, I mean, if you're just a completionist or a collector, yeah, great, do it. But if you're literally doing this to get the card because of how good the card is, you've got to decide what relevance that has to what you're trying to do in the game. Because, like I said, if you're not going to run the card on unlimited, it's kind of pointless. Honestly, to be honest, it's pointless. I'll touch on TTO and Triple Threat Online, Triple Threat Offline really quickly. TTO Offline, we're probably going to get a good reward. I like the last 3 rewards. Dishinger, Beck, and Embry were all great cards. So this is something I'm going to be playing next season. I'll probably wait until the XP drops so I can just kind of do it all at once, so I'm not repeating games. And TTO, again, the rewards are getting really good in this as well. So, there'll probably be a card similar to Marin in there. The free cards, obviously, I've released a video on that this week. They've absolutely killed it with that stuff. Spotlights, preparing for that. I mean, I got it done. I got Marion yesterday. I do these spotlights as they go because there's no way I'm stacking all these up because it would just become insufferable. So I usually do them within sort of 24 hours of each one being dropped just to break it up. And I do the XP on it as well. That's kind of my approach to make it a little bit more worth it, I guess. They are the best challenges to do XP on as well. So in terms of prepping for next season, guys, the keys are decide what you want to do. Like, just decide what you want to do. Don't try and do everything if you can't. Don't put yourself under pressure if you don't need to. Just focus on the things that you want to do. I would play a bit of unlimited personally. This is my opinion. I would play some unlimited because even if you get up a few tiers, you're going to get good rewards out of it. Limited, I would play because, as I said, the secondary rewards are good. I think the main reward, again, is just going to be underwhelming unless they take the feedback on, which, 2K are not really known for. And the XP, again, is definitely going to be worth it. But I think this is the big decision to make, whether this is something you actually really need to do, because I think this is causing a lot of people to really despise this game. I'm talking to people like on a daily basis who are literally just completely burned out. But burnout affects your personal life as well, right? Like, you just don't need to do this. You don't need to do it. I'm going to set it up again. I'm going to try and make it manageable. Honestly, with any of this, if it becomes unmanageable next season, I'm just going to bail. There's nothing here that's vital. So yeah, that's how I would prepare. Clear house, guys. Get rid of any cards from this season. Like I said, they're going to have more value now than they ever will again, because that XP is still there and people are still grinding for Kawhi. Outside of that, just decide what you want to do. Guys, I hope this video helps you prepare for next season. I'm going to open all of these packs in a video later this week. Let's stack some MT and see how we get on. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.